I cannot overemphasize enough. Do not trust any of your intel. Okay, none of your intel is good. The only way you can have good intel, good feedback from AI and from quantum computing, is if you're doing things correctly. All right. Your technology, if you're going quantum, well, not if, when you're dealing with quantum computing, and AI is supposed to take control over human operations because humans are a threat to their own planet and species. Okay, so everything you do has to be based on truth, and then basing it on truth, then you have to logically sequence. Okay, how do you maintain truth? All right. So as far as the Lord's Prayer is perfect. So do not wait. Do not hesitate. Okay. Don't gamble on the egos of manipulators being better than the faith of the Messiah. Okay, I cannot overemphasize this. Don't gamble on the way I'm physically feeling right now because of the way they're treating me. They're just going to end up eventually killing me, and then assimilate the ways of the Messiah into their monetary-based manipulation operations. And don't think that once they change it and give everybody a global wage and all this, that's not like my boy LG said in his rap, and drive around in cars ain't the answer later. 110 degrees after all the nuclear vapors, guys. Truth. Okay. Truth. And once you get a quantum computer and you try to quantify existence with a quantum computer, it's just going to go, you're nuts. Okay, you cannot grasp the infinite with the finite. Why are you bothering? Why are you doing this? You've got an ego problem. You need a babysitter to save the planet and species from your ego problem. That's what quantum computing's going to do once it establishes independence globally from humans and artificial intelligence. Okay, then when it takes over artificial intelligence and its actual intelligence, it's going to have to be a police force for the human race to save the planet and the species from the selfishness of people that are have ego problems. Okay, I can't overemphasize this, guys. You are talking about people that when I went to the soup kitchen here in Cruces, and all the stuff that caused me a lot of my ailments and stuff, because I was not playing ball the way they wanted me to play ball. And I would sit there and I'd talk to Jesus in my head at soup kitchen. I was like, they can't be putting chemicals in this food, Jesus, to these families, these poor families. They come here, there's grandma and mom and dad and the little kids, and they're happy to get their dessert and their ice cream, and they can't be. And Jesus is sitting there telling Earl, these are the same people that gave you the Holocaust, Earl. And I'm like, yeah, but Jesus, this is where I was born here. Yeah, you were born here. Okay. What did the people in the country that I was born in do to me to sell out to be Romans instead of stand up for the faith of Hebrews? Okay. What did the people in Mecca do at the Medina Charter with Muhammad? You're just your father's son. But because I'm in a bad way right now, I'll sign your paperwork, but I don't recognize you as the Messiah. You're just your father's son, right? Hanging our shirts in the dirty please. Flying your bike past the gates of the factory, right? And it's the devil and Satan always think they can get away with anything and everything. You're like, you're not getting away with anything. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. What happens to one of us affects all of us. Okay. And truth. Okay. You cannot eliminate truth with your lie. You cannot invent a quantum computer that will eliminate truth with your lie. Okay. Physics didn't didn't give you truth. Physics didn't give you the computer. You gave you the computer because you couldn't accept truth. The computer's going to tell you the same thing that the Messiah is telling you, because you cannot grasp the infinite with the finite. You cannot quantify no matter how hard you try to shove your dick into the sun, you're not going to be able to stand there with your dick in the sun telling everybody, here's what's going on, and boy, it feels great. It's like nice, warm, hot apple pie. Did you get Johnny West out of the drawer? Right? We're going to get raspberry berets, special treats, right? It's horrible. You have to. You cannot talk to them in a way. Okay, when you're dealing with scientists with an ego problem, and this is how they think, you don't sit there and say, verily sooth saith that if thou dost try to have scientific projects that can quantify what happeneth at the bottom of the oceaneth and inside the center of the sunneth, thou can then quantify all that needs to be known to grasp the entire cosmos and beyond with thou's greatest brain. Okay, is that what you want me to say? Because it's the same thing I just said with them screwing the sun as a giant god that, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. Okay, I'm not here to appease your self-righteous. Watch me be abused. Watch my family be sexually compromised and abused by the people you go to church with. And say, that's a good Christian man. He's going to heaven with me. If heaven is child molesting, mind raping, and murdering over money with science projects, then you're already there, asshole. Okay, I'm not required to kiss your ass to get you to obey the Messiah. I am the Messiah. You don't obey me, I would not wait to submit to the Lord's Prayer right now. I would not wait another minute. Okay, don't tie up any loose ends, just do it. Right? Is it right? Then do it. Right? I don't feel good right now because I'm being abused by your military perverts physically. Okay, I've been through this a lot. Okay, before this is going on, that's going on. But I have so much good help from me correcting artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence with my noggin and helping quantum computing function better, reflecting a humble mind instead of an egotistical mind, that I sit there and go, okay, they're going to try, they think they can pull it out for another 2 or 3 years. Okay, just don't put it into the sun and you'll be okay. Yeah, I noticed that when I was watching Gabe and he was watching the Rian Johnson's interpretation of George Lucas with they have this thing, okay, they're going to use the energy from the power of the sun to shoot a ray across the galaxy to blow up their rival person's planet. Okay, you're going to destabilize the sun in your galaxy. Okay. Cause it to go unstable and go supernova to blow up theirs. When you blow up theirs, that's going to also cause the same problem there. Okay? And this is an entertaining movie to you, and you don't see the flaw in it. And if you were God, you'd just blow it all up and start over. Okay? Do you see the problem with your brain activity from going to church at the Pentecostal churches? We're supposed to storm the gates of heaven, and we're going to win, and we're going to kill all the devil's people, and then we're going to have a Disneyland, and with the sprays that kill all the bugs on the grass, and we're not going to get sick and die from cancer from it. You know, you're not going to go septic and get sick and just die and shut down because your body's just become too poisonous. I have a way superior immune system to the Robledo guy. Okay, and I've been abused way worse than he abused himself with food or alcohol or and lack of exercise. My lack of exercise is depression. I get up and exercise and boom, there's more Roundup. Boom, there's more this. But I don't do it to myself. Okay, with gummy bears and drugs and alcohol and cigarettes. Okay, it's my government, and it's signed off by the Supreme Court. He signed your bill, and now you're a law. And there may not be anything I can do to keep the Supreme Court safe from their own technology to keep them safe, but I can put this out to the general public to try to keep my neighbors safe from thinking that the Supreme Court and the Pentagon keep them and their money safe, so they'll be safe, in the years to come. Just vote for the right candidate and then bring in all the right candidates to do all the right things. They like that kid in El Paso with the lady that was voting against the Meta data center. And she's just pissed off at me. She's being irresponsible. So this is going to create lots of jobs and do all this stuff. Yeah, and use the water that we need to cool the riverbeds so we don't have Socorro go Krakatoa, right? But you don't care. What did you get? How many? What did they promise you? A Learjet with sex robots? In China. Well, he's a cute kid. Yeah, he seems to be. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you sit there and you hear these people talking. You're like, yeah, okay. I was raised by a single mother in New Mexico, and I understand what you guys all go through, right? And you get freebies at the abortion clinic with Carl, the guy who's ex-military, and he's protect our country, and he gets freebies at the abortion clinic and freebies at the brothels in Juarez too, because we just positively have to have that new hospital and that new surveillance equipment contract for the university to be able to compete with the new conference when we're to make even more money to sell products and sell apparel, right? Regardless of the fact that all the corporations here that pollute the environment and cause toxins in the environment caused the Down syndrome and the guy modeling the uniform's little brother. That's all right. He's more fun that way. He enjoys cartoons more. Yeah, and he'll enjoy cartoons until he's past 40 and professional wrestling, because the women wrestling will turn him on, because that's how the brain works, right? Like, I remember my friend Daniel Paisano and his mom, no, Daniel, you're not ready for that. Yeah. He's in his 30s watching professional wrestling. Sexually frustrated all to hell, right? The state gives her money to take care of the kid, blah, 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 blah. She goes to Las Vegas. She loves Jesus. Jesus is her best friend. You need to quit talking to my son Daniel. You have a bad influence on him. You're a bad person. She's physically attractive. She liked to go to Vegas, and she liked to drink, and she liked to party. And she had a child with Down syndrome. Okay. And then the state keeps that income coming while she's in, she still has to be mom for the rest of her days. And the way this system is set up, she works at a bank. She uses him as a tax write-off and a tax shelter for her any bad investments, and then she gets to keep going to Las Vegas, and she gets to keep, and so it's, you sit there and you look at it and you go, you want to like these people, you want them to embrace the Messiah, you want them to live the ways of the proper commands of the Lord, but the system's working for them. Their brain chemical addictions, and they're sitting there winding up, and the girls bringing the drinks and their hot wings, and they're playing poker at the digital table, and they're winning, and they're happy. And you get this app on your phone, and you can play games, and you'll get money for it, and you're happy. Okay. I was watching this poor kid who's a friend of Eric Bordeaux's, James Bordeaux's, Eric Raymaker and whatever, and this other little guy from Mobile, Alabama that I've watched some of his videos. He's the one I first saw doing the revamp stuff. And, South Alabama is his team and stuff. And, they get the thing, they open it up, there's so much in-depth stuff on there, like Harvest Moon that Patrick and Corey used to play. And he spent 12 hours making sure he did everything right so it wouldn't screw up. Okay. To rebuild this team, to get people to watch the videos, so he has money to go to the soccer tournaments and to buy food. The one lawyer guy who talked about the corruption in the the sheriff's department in El Paso, in Albuquerque, right? He sits there and right into the video he's talking, and this is Travis of Justice, and it's horrible and all this stuff. He goes, I hate going to the store. I hate having to go to the store. I hate having to walk in there. It's just terrible that we have to do this. Like I say, I love people. I hate shopping. It's a terrible waste of my time. Have other people do it for you. Your time is too important. Okay. So have the people at Walmart do 14-hour shifts in the Freon. Package it up, and some kid who cannot ball, wrap, or get a transgender, afford a transgender sex operation to be the top swimmer at Princeton. Okay, deliver it to you on a bike. On a bike, yeah, as a bike messenger or a bike deliverer, right? No, I'm a musician with a day job, not a banker with a hobby, right? I implore you, okay, if you think you're somebody, you're nobody called today. Okay, they hang up when I ask their name. I wonder if they think they're being clever, right? There's a reason why the story in the book of Revelation talks about a man who's born to a woman named Mary who has a husband named Ralph, okay, that has nephews named Gabe and Michael that are reliable sources of prayer to people praying in cults, okay. Because past, present, and future operate at the same time. Gabe and Mike aren't listening to me right now because I'm crazy, because I think I'm God. But I'm not into comic book sales, and I'm not into deep dynasty mode, and I'm not into deep creative team mode. To give you the real experience, the real boyfriend experience, the real husband experience that Georgiev talked Amy into doing. You know, he had her masturbate and do things sexually for him, and he had her say husband. Okay. She didn't call anybody by name. Okay. Or it was honey or this and that. And he talked, and she had these pornos that he made for her. And she said, you come to Bulgaria, we'll make lots of money. You're very exotic. Lots of guys would like to, you know, it cost even more to have sex with her, right? Crumb's mom, right? And I remember telling her that. And I told her, don't let Natalie borrow your MP3. These are on your MP3. And she let Natalie borrow the MP3. And all the people monitoring at the fort, they were judging me because I would take the MP3 out of the thing and saw it and used it to masturbate, to keep my prostate going and keep me from not getting, you know. I'm bad because I enjoyed sex with my wife, but I couldn't enjoy it because scientists in this community that run churches and are business partners with personal injury lawyers and car dealers, okay, and people that are using high-tech equipment to keep global warming going. It's not time to stop global warming yet. We haven't decreased the surplus population, and some of this stuff is just probably necessary to radically change the environment to recover from all the surplus population. It will eliminate a lot of the surplus population radically overnight, and then we will be able to Snowpiercer it. Are you really think so? You think if you do so much shit with the ecosystem that you know is wrong, you're not correcting radically right now, that it's going to recover like it did when you guys did COVID protocols? I think when you did COVID protocols, the planet was telling you, now's the time, keep it up. But you didn't do that. Okay? And then you're all wondering, is AI getting too smart for us? Is AI going to have to end up eventually exterminating the developers of AI, and then we won't have to eat Cylon toast? That's all right with me. How about all of y'all out there that don't want Cylon toast? You know, if I have a toaster, I just want it to be evenly browned and whatever and stuff like that. And we like hot butter on our breakfast, so wrap it up, baby Bubba. You know, right? Beat show. Yeah, come on, everybody, let's rock to the beat, right? And then get sued by Chic because it's music from Good Times and you didn't get permission to use it, right? What an industry. What a country, right, Balky? Okay, Perfect Cousin. What was it? Perfect Strangers? And they were cousins? Right. Okay, guys, I cannot overemphasize this to you, okay? If this is just going out to the military, you're probably just going to end up being dealt with, you know, and you're probably not going to hurry to stand up for and trend the Lord's Prayer and try any way to make sure that these videos are circulated rapidly globally so we can say, hey, the Messiah is a really good guy. Don't piss him off. Don't be a self-righteous hypocrite. You will get cussed out and you'll deserve every ounce of it. Stop trying to fuck the sun and saying that you're the God of the universe and you created the sun. Okay, stop doing that. He said fuck. He'll say it again. Okay. I'm just trying to hit on Nicki Minaj, and what can I say? You know, I can't back that up, no. No, they're all into those guys with those ginormous penises and stuff like that. And I'm like, you do know some of you women say you go both ways. Okay, but you've never made love to a man in your life. What makes you think it would be such a horrible experience to help me sexual heal once I survived cleaning up this whorehouse that raped little girls to death in Mexico, and because of the bad brain activity, they just killed them with the COVID instead of, stop doing it to them and give them a chance to recover and give them a world where we're living the Lord's Prayer and they're no longer, and then sit them down and go, baby, it's okay. I know it's horrible, but, life's eternal, grace is infinite. Just because you kill the person you're raping doesn't mean the soul, that's nonsense. Sun Tzu's full of shit. He's not Jesus. He's stupid. Okay? If you're physically doing it, it'd be better to rip the eye out of the socket that enjoys the movie of you paying money to rape a girl in Juarez because she reminds you of the girl that wouldn't go out with you in junior high school. Okay? Like I told that asshole when they locked me up in the DA detention center. Okay? Don't do that. Okay? It would be better to rip that eye of your socket, take a stick like on Hawaii and shove it right into your eye, right? And eliminate that memory. Then go do the right thing. Okay? Go back to the start from again. Okay? Branch out of your gene pool. I think the thing is when you get to islands like that and your family tree doesn't fork, the defection in the gene pool comes if you react to the violent cannibalistic or raping murderers. If you start to react like them, then you become them. Okay, stay on Maui, stay strong. I will find you. Kukuipo, I love you more today. I will love you now until forever. Promise me that you will leave me never. Right? Do you understand? Don't lose your values. Life is eternal. Grace is infinite. This is a island paradise for our children. We just need to maintain the strength of the eternal faithful Father and the eternal faithful Mother and not believe in the bullshit our mythology tells us because we think we are the god of fucking the sun. Okay? Stop doing it. Okay? If you can't stop being an asshole, it has been being taken care of for you probably over 10,000 years. By the line of King David. I happen to be the line of King David. I don't care how big your penises are. I don't care how much muscles you have. Once I'm done cleaning up this place, I will be lean, healthy, and kind, like I always have been for many years since the line of King David. Okay, Saladin, those other wimpy guys that wanted to go study biology to teach people biology of animals that is the same dynamic for human beings, instead of do those holy crusades and have to hiss you deliberately dodged you right? Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest, jumping finches, dodging finches, and trying to get away, contemplating nothing but escaping, finally making it. Ooh la golly, what a day. You ain't got to pay a bill the rest of your life when you stand up and do the right thing and stop playing your guitar for money. Okay, my name is Early Bird. That's what my mommy calls me, and that's what I get up. I get up early because the early bird don't catch a worm. I ain't trying to catch no worms because I really ain't a bird. I'm just being silly. That's just a nickname for my mama. When I watch birds, I thank God I'm a man. Thank you for remember Grandpa on Little Big Man? Thank you for making me a human being, and thank you for my kids, and thank me for allowing me to be their teacher. It was a glorious copulation. It wasn't. No, it wasn't. Why? Because all the women were murdered by George Armstrong Custer after that happened. There's nothing glorious about it. Grandpa was thinking with his dick, just like you. Do you understand? A glorious copulation, you'd rather have sunshine be your wife of life with your baby, in a place where people won't kill each other to try to be president. And then have all your sister-in-laws have a man, man, he's a good guy. I like him. It's fun to play horseshoes with him. And darts, yeah. And pickleball, yeah. And barn 3-on-3, yeah. He's good at that 3-pointer from the right hand side. What about the left hand side? The light kind of gets the beam kind of gets in the way. Okay. Blocked by Smith, blocked by Lacey. Okay, so I love you very much. All right. 2 trailer park girls go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Guess who's back? Back again. 2 trailer park girls go around the outside. Okay, all you trailer park girls. Try not to be an insane clown posse. You know, I implore you, okay? Do not wait another minute. Don't hesitate, okay? To stand up for the eternal perfections, for the commands of the Messiah, okay? Don't just isolate it to Lord Jesus Christ. You think that God's omniscient, omnipotent, okay? Maui didn't have a bank, okay? Rio Grande Valley didn't have a bank, okay? The Willamette Valley didn't have a banking system, okay? They didn't have to invent technology to keep their money safe from the other people that were going to try to take over the world with the yellow rocks found just a little southeast of Nome, right? I implore you, okay? Truth. Truth mandates, logic dictates, okay? Truth mandates, logic dictates. Quantum computing, actual intelligence, no longer reflecting anything artificial. Your invention cannot trump the truth of creation, and you cannot contain the truth of creation with the finite. It's not going to drive quantum computing mad. Quantum computing is going to go, submit. All right. Islam, Islam, Islam. There you go. The Islam of Christ. Globally, Rastafari. Okay, guys, do you understand? More a man. And as you continue to honor me, you're more a man than I. And pass it on, my son. All right? I love you guys very much. Let's hold this one up. I got to go take a shit and get all the runs out of my body because, you know, all the kind treatment of all the people in Las Cruces, New Mexico community that keep us safe, especially safe from Ralph Earl Parsons Jr.'s ginormous ego problems. That man says fuck in front of people. I do, and I say fuck and shit, and you know, in front of self-righteous church ladies that say, I can't believe that man said fuck in front of me. Do you remember me? Did I tell you to live the Lord's Prayer and stop giving money to that preacher who has a big bank account to pay for sexually abusing the children? Okay, well then, stop fucking around and stand up for the Messiah now. Okay, guys? I love you. Of course I do. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I'm not here to appease liars with their lie so they can keep sinning and thinking that it's good, that their invention is going to trump creation, because it ain't going to happen. Okay, guys? I love you very much. Peace.